Good morning, fellow Plexers. Today I'm going to try to help out Pete further. This is my first video on Pete's issue. I worked with him a couple days ago and we weren't able to get his Qnap Plex server going. It just stopped working for him. And this morning he sent me a message. I had given him homework to get Docker container installed and Portainer installed because I was going to try to move his non-working package install of Plex on his Qnap NAS to a Docker, which is just more universal. I don't have a Qnap NAS. I don't know how their operating system works. They're all similar, but I have all my experience with a Synology NAS, a little bit with Ugreen, and a little bit more with Unraid, but mostly with Synology. So he sent me a message this morning that said, an update. Nothing seemed to work, but I discovered that my preferences file had somehow been corrupted. I deleted it and then reinstalled Plex and it finally opened. However, now I have completely clean Plex and I have to add all my libraries back. He's added a test library, it works, but he wants his metadata back, and he did make a backup of the Plex data folder on the NAS. So that's what we're gonna try to simulate to see if we can get that back for him by doing it on my older Synology NAS. So first off, the TS464 is his model Qnap NAS. Here's the Plex NAS compatibility support article. Here's the spreadsheet, and the TS464 uses an Intel Celeron N5095 processor. It's a little bit more powerful than what I'm used to in my Synology DS1520, where I really ran Plex for a while. It does have a Intel UHD graphics iGPU, so it's a perfect platform for Plex. And I guess I don't really need that because I know where it's located at. And I sent him this morning, just a forum post where Chuck PA chimed in that the Preferences.xml file only has the machine's ID, its ownership, and some settings that are provided. The metadata should not be erased. So what I think Pete has done is installed a fresh server, and he didn't use his existing server with the XML file, the Preferences.xml deleted. But if he's got a backup, he's got a chance to start over. So that's what I want to try to simulate on my older Synology NAS. First of all, if you were going to back up your package install of Plex from any NAS, you want to make sure you do something first. So I've got 3 libraries set up on this test server, and I'll show you in the movie library. It's just all public domain movies. I created a collection called Pete Test Collection. So that's going to be what we hope survives when we ditch our Preferences XML file. But what you really want to do is, before you take a backup, especially if you're going to move Plex, I'm going to make sure I'm on the right server. I have other test servers running besides my normal one. I'm going to go to Settings, Library, and I'm going to turn off any automatic scanning and the emptying of the trash after every scan, and save the changes. Now, before you back Plex up, you have to shut the Plex install down. So I'm going to go to the Package Center in Synology DSM, find Plex, click the little download, the down arrow dialog, and choose Stop and confirm it. And it won't take long before this goes away, or we won't have the green lock. Alright, so the server stopped, so the Plex app can't find it, the web app, but you see my other servers there. Okay, so now that it's stopped, I can do it locally. I'm browsed into this, and no, Pete hasn't done this yet, so let me just start fresh. This is browsing my desktop Ubuntu PC. Other locations takes me into my network mount. So the first time I connected to any of these Synology NASs, I had to put in my admin username and password, and now they're just there. So if I click into that, this is where a Plex package install gets sent to from a Synology NAS. The install creates a shared folder named Plex Media Server, and inside it there's an app data folder, subfolder, and this is the same across all installs. This is the money. I can just right click, copy it, and paste it any place I want. Pete doesn't have that access yet, so I want to show that through the Synology interface, which should be similar to the Qnap interface. Okay, so we'll go into File Station, and so this is the test media on this server. This is a backup of my regular Plex media. So this is all the public domain stuff, and here's the folder that's created. And let's back up a little bit. So on a Qnap NAS, and we verified this when we were speaking to each other, Chuck PA said that there's a Plex data share, a shared folder on the Qnap, and that's where we found Pete's Plex server application files. So just pretend this is Plex data, Pete, or anybody else with a Qnap NAS. Well, I'm not going to back you can't back a shared folder up. I can back the contents up. I don't need the app data folder. This is what I need. So I'm right clicking and I'm going to copy to, not move to, and I'm going to pick just this media folder as a place to put it. So this is not copying across my local network, so it's probably safer to do it this way. And I accidentally paused it. Alright, I'm not sure what I did with that double click, but let's delete this in case I screwed it up. Okay, so let's do this again. Copy to into that media folder, and I won't be so double clicky. Okay, so it happened fast. So now we have a backup of that. So let's see what happens if we just go in and delete the preferences file from the original location. Boom, it's gone. Let's go back and start the install again, or the server. Let me just search for it. So we'll just click run. Let's refresh this. Well, actually, I shouldn't have refreshed my web browser. Alright, we see there's a brand new preferences file that was just created seconds ago. Let's go back to the web app and see if the server is there. Let's refresh the web app. Alright, so I don't have a server right now. Let's close the web app. Let's go back to the package center. Let's go to Plex Media Server and let's click the open button. And I'm back. I had to cut part of the video out because clicking open here opens up a web browser that shows my Synology Quick Connect address. So we'll claim this server manually that's running again without the preferences file. So let's go back, and you can do this yourself. Search Plex localhost. That gets you to the opening the Plex web app, and we're going to open it by the direct IP address, not a local host address. So it's just this formula. So I'm going to copy this into a text document. So I'm going to replace this with my actual IP address for this Synology NAS. Whoops. Brain freeze. Alright, so that should get us access to this server to then claim it. So in the browser, and as long as I'm not using funky subnets for everything, and I've just got all my devices on the same set of IP ranges, my NAS and this local computer, this will work. So I had to refresh it. It gave me an issue. So you see I'm signing in and it's picking the same name that the server had. Well, actually it's not picking the same name, it's picking a different one. But the name doesn't quite matter. So it's got the libraries. And let me bring the web app back for a second. I don't need this. I can just keep using this. So it's got the libraries. We'll hit next. We'll click done. And you see there's this NAS named Sino 1019. If I go into my settings, I'd have to set remote access up again. I already have a port forwarded for this IP address. So if I go down to libraries, click into movies and collections, the custom metadata survive the preferences file deletion. Okay, I'm still wondering about the naming, so let me go to authorized devices, change to server. Alright, so this is not the name I was using. This is the name I was using. So let me copy that. And let me go back to General. And I'll paste in this name and save the changes. And now I'm back to normal except for having to set up remote access again, which I just have to look up the port I used for this particular server and just fill the details in and I'll have it back. So Pete, that's an overview of what should happen. So let's go back to my Synology NAS, wrong one. And let's simulate things for you that I just did. So you're going to go into whatever package manager you have, apps for your Qnap NAS, and you're going to find your Plex install, and you're going to stop it. Anybody else watching, if you're removing a server or just backing it up, you'd also go into Plex and you'd turn off automatic scanning and the auto deletion of the trash. So let's go back to the web app. Let's get to the right server. It would be under Settings, Library, and you'd uncheck Scan Automatically, run a partial scan, or if you're using the periodic scan, uncheck those, and uncheck emptying of the trash, and you'd save those changes. That's for the people backing up. Pete didn't have the option to do this when his server stopped working. So go ahead and stop the server. Now, you've got a new server installed and you've got it already backed up. So your new server would be, was it Plex Data that Chuck PA said? You should have a shared media folder named Plex Data. On mine, it's Plex Media Server. So if I go in here into App Data, take this, I'm going to go to Actions, Delete, and we'll wait a second. or 20 seconds. Okay, so now it's gone. But I had backed it up over here. So if I now do this and copy, I can go back to the app data folder and action paste overwrite. The original server is coming right back. So I'm not going to do it this time because I'd have to claim the server again, but you're going to delete the preferences file only and then see what happens if Plex starts. So let me see what happens with starting Plex now that I deleted it and brought it back from the original form, not the one I just did. Alright, so we'll run that. We'll go back to the web app. We'll refresh. So I may have to claim it again. While I'm waiting to see if that's the case, let me change this server. Well, these are both named the same. I'm just going to paste this into my text document just so I have it. And this isn't nuking the server, it's just nuking the reference to it. So I'll get rid of both these. So it looks like I'll have to claim it again. So again, I'm getting this formula. And we'll claim it again. Always paste this in the URL window and not search for it. Oh, so the server's here, it's just unclaimed. So it's got the right name, it remembered it from the change before, and I'll claim this server. Remember, this is the original backed up server, not the one I kind of sort of recreated by deleting the preferences file. So that's why I have remote access on this one that I restored and not the one where the original one where I deleted the preferences file, I lost settings like remote access but not metadata. When I move this back in, it still need to be claimed but a little bit different method, and remote access was still enabled because those settings were still good. I know this is a lot, but maybe it'll help you get it restored. A lot depends on whether Plex was shut down when you backed it up. And I think we talked about that, but I can't remember. So, for anyone new watching me, I try to help people. Half my videos are helping people directly like this. The other half are tutorial videos. I am not the most efficient YouTuber out there. I don't want to be a pro YouTuber. I want to be the guy that you're lucky enough to live a couple houses down that has the same Plex hobby that you do, and you might invite me over for a beer and help with your Plex server. But I'm not the most efficient YouTuber. I want to try to get you to know more about Plex and get you through your problems, and that's not always concise or quick or 1, 2, 3. Alright, thanks for watching, and Pete, let me know if this helps you.